I didn't know things about myself, such as the following. I didn't know that I am an auditory learner. And again, you're an intelligent young man, so I know you know what that means. But for your listeners, that means that the way I learn, the way I add knowledge to my accumulation, to my wisdom base, or however you want to call it, to my database, is more through what I hear than what I see. And that explained, and was confirmed by one of these coaches, that explained why when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of focus in my early years, my very early years, by my parents on reading books. So again, and again, I know you understand this, the idea that, from the time we're born until literally, maybe for you, in your case, absolutely every moment that you're living right now. For me, I'm probably a little less on the picking extra stuff up, but I'm still doing it. I learn stuff every day. But all of your experiences, all the things that you see, all the things that you hear, all the things that you're taught, from the littlest things, like be able to put a square peg in a round hole, as you're learning something about dexterity and shapes, that all that stuff forms who you are. Yeah. And in my case, I didn't get a lot of work in my direction on reading. So I was good at listening. So at the age of 50, I finally was able to reduce, or certainly reduce, maybe even eliminate the guilt that I had carried for literally from my early adult years until 50, because I was one of those guys that, again, I was in a suit and tie industry for a good number of years in the beginning of my career. And so I was one of those folks who went to some kind of a gathering, could be an association meeting, could be a cocktail party, and in particular the cocktail party end of the world. Then, and this is back, a long time ago, everybody was talking about the latest book they read. That was kind of, if you wanted to have if you wanted a conversation starter, that was a good starter question. So when somebody would say, well, so what are you reading now, Dennis? And I would just like to say, I said, excuse me, I need to get another drink. And I would just be able to walk away because I wasn't a reader. And I felt bad about that. One of the things that we do as humans is that we make ourselves feel bad about ourselves. And many times there's no good reason for it. Yeah. But there's an absence of a good reason not to feel badly about ourselves. We call this self-awareness. We call this self-understanding. And so that was an interesting process for me to use that information to help me figure out the reason why I express what soft skills are in the manner that I do.
I'm miscommunicating. I just made a pilot, then they threw me on the stations. Now I'm not complaining, my thoughts get complicated, I cannot explain in layman's. Never losing focus because I ain't chasing payments. Still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify.